Good evening once again. Today we are going to talk about Bluetooth exploit, which they call it Blueducky. We are going to see how we can use Blueducky to exploit Bluetooth vulnerabilities. So those are dependencies we have to first install into our Linux so that we'll be able to run those Python script of the CVE so that we can test our devices. So on this kind of exploit on Bluetooth, so I will come into my browser. Let's search for, I think it's Blueducky. Yeah, I think I'll be found it on, I think it's documented on GitHub. Select the first link. So let me give some time. So maybe someone tried to document this kind of exploit, which is CVE 2023 and forward and word. So you can see that it's vulnerable. Android are vulnerable to this kind of exploits, but it depends to the version you have of the Android. So this kind of exploit, it's going to try to mimic, like it's going to identify our PC, our attacker PC as keyboard, so that we are going to try to inject some payloads onto our Android phone, because my Android phone is going to think that my PC is a keyboard, so that we can command it to do this and this according to the payload we have generated. So what you are going to do, we are going to set up that tool, which is called Blueducky. We are going to first install it. So the one thing I'm going to do is that you can see I have set up for Debian for people who are using Ubuntu, Kali Linux, what and what. Let me admit this person to my live. So let's get back. So let me get back there. So one thing I'm going to do is that I have to first update and upgrade your packages. And another thing you are going to do is that you are going to copy that link and you paste it to your terminal, so that we firstly install those dependencies for us to make our script run well. So what I'm going to do, let me put it side by side. I will come to my terminal, I paste it. You can see that we are going to try to install those dependencies. I put my password there. You see some I have them pre-installed. For you are going to install them again, because I'm not going to do it twice. I'm just trying to demonstrate you how you can do it. So another thing you are going to do, you are going to install this PyBlueZ. You are going to clone that repository, and then just following the steps to install those dependencies. So another thing you are going to do is that after we installed those ones above, those dependencies, we are going to set up that PyBlueZ. And for people who are using Arc based Linux, this is your setup way. So and then finally you copy the actual GitHub repository, and then you clone it, you paste that. Those are kind of like steps you are going to follow, so that we'll be able to execute this kind of script, which are going to help us to analyze this Bluetooth exploit found in Android devices. So first thing I'm going to do, let me first check for my Bluetooth interfaces. You see I have XCI config 1, now I mean 0, which is up. So other thing you have to do is first install the Python libraries dependencies. You can see inside my Blueducky folder I have the file called requirements.txt. What you are going to do, let me first cut it so that we can see what are requirements.
for us to be able to execute this Python script. So type requirement.txt. Yeah, I think I wrote it not well. Let me get back there. Requirement. Yeah, I see that we have all of those requirements. I mean libraries. Yeah, there are requirements also. Those libraries of Python you have to first install. Let me clear my screen so that you can execute this Python script. So other thing I'm going to do, let me use the environment Python env file which have those requirements installed. I will type sudo env, and it's located in bin Python, and I think the script I'm going to use is Blueduck, because others they have some kind of errors realizing like pairing what and what is not being established well, like the pairing process. So the one which is I have like 1 2 3 to 4. The 4 one is the one which runs. So here around my script you can see that it's a Blueducky. So I can type enter. So those are like saved the devices which were scanned. Let me admit this person to my okay. So those are like previous saved devices. And so another thing, you can see that this script can help us to scan. We can also scan and discover the available Bluetooth devices on our NIC. So you see I'm attempting to scan. Let me see if I can find my device, my Oppo phone. Okay, so let me, yeah, as you can see I found my Oppo. Is on 3. Yeah, it's on 3. You can see that I can select the device I want to attack. Yeah, so let me put number 3 in there. Okay, you can see that now we have like those payloads. You can see that we have those payloads. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pick one payload from all of them. Don't worry, we are going to open those payloads. We see that how they are documented, how they are implemented, so that we can, even if change, to make our own. So let me try to set up my phone so that you can see. Let me just find a way I can share you my phone screen. So let me use Spy, but you have to first enable ADB debugging to your device for you to use this kind of Python script to share your phone. So yeah, it's going to help me to control my phone right here. Let me put it side by side. Okay, and my password, it's so soft, it's too easy. Yeah, reverse psychology, not because you are in cyber security are going to, yeah, everyone, it's psychological, it works. Yeah. So another thing is I'm going to select it's powered off. Let me bring it back, my password again. Okay, so one thing, let me go to just home. Let me just first increase the time for the screen. So I'm going to select the script. Let me use the payload tool. Let's see for it.
what it can do to this device, this phone which is have the Bluetooth enabled. Yeah, the person doesn't know what is going on. He's just using his phone, chatting whatsoever, but in a background an attacker run this kind of CVE of Blueducky, which is going to mimic it's going to tell our phone it's like a keyboard. So here I choose 2. Yeah, let's wait for it to do its magic. Yeah, fingers crossed. You see that my phone started to open browser, and then it writes something, but I didn't touch it. You can see those are like scripts which are doing it. So another thing, let's try it one more time. One thing I'm going to do is that I'll choose yes, choose device 1. I put 2 as my payload. Okay, let's wait for the magic of this Blueducky. You can see it opened browser, it tapped something. You see it's opened WhatsApp. Yeah, it's opened WhatsApp. You see how dangerous this thing is. Means that you can even if write the payload that goes to the malicious website, and then to download like a rat application, and it can install it. Right, you can see it. Yeah, you can see that I'm able to automate the phone without the actual user interaction by using this payload. So let me cut it. Let me try to display it so that we can see what's inside it. I'll go into like payloads. Okay, here we go. Yeah, let me use nano to display what's inside. So you can see that there it's kinda trying to write those to type something inside the browser. Yeah, you can see down there it's trying to open the private browser, and it's right here you can see that it's opening the private browser, and then inside the browser it types that link to go to that link. And even if you can add other steps so that it can do it. Okay, let's exit here. Let's get back to our script. So if nobody have any question, we can continue. So let's continue. So let's copy this one, which is on the GitHub repository, and then let's edit this payload 1, example 1. Let me use mousepad. That will be simple for me. Let me use mousepad. Nano is not going to help me out. Let me use mousepad, so that I can easily remove all and paste. So let me paste the one we copied from the GitHub. Okay, let me paste it there. Let's save. Okay, let me get back to my Blueducky. So I select yes, I select the ID one. We are going to attack this Oppo device. Let me try to bring my phone back side by side so that we can see what's going to happen. Let me go to home. Let me try to exit. It's one. Let's wait for the magic to happen. Yeah, you can see. No way, it's opened my messages. Sorry, we ran the wrong script. Let's go back. And we were supposed to run example 1, and we ran the one which have 2. Yeah, we made the mistake. Let's run that one for which is the one I'm scanning again. I don't want to scan back, so yes, again. So
I don't know what's going on. So let me do yes, 1, and we choose 3, the one we copied from GitHub. So fingers are crossed. Let's see. My phone is still there. You can see it's opened the browser and typed something there. Yeah, it's opened that link page of HackerNet. What? Maybe this link that no longer exists, doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, so let's clear. I think that's, you can see how dangerous it is, this script of Blueducky. You can see how dangerous it is. So I think now we are going to see how we can attack those Wi-Fi networks. Yeah, okay, as I said, we are going to see how we can attack the Bluetooth devices. So let's get back there. So understanding and inspecting the wireless networks. So what you're going to see here is going to how we can crack Wi-Fi passwords with capturing handshake. And Wi-Fi networks, they are also called, they are aka those IE 800 and 801 and what. So you can see there, those are kind of like wireless standards. So these Wi-Fi networks, so you can see that they will have what we call access point. The access point is where the devices get connected. Yeah, it's your kind of like router whatsoever. It's the access point, as you understand. And here we have what you call extended service set identifier, which is kind of like SSID. We're going to see what is SSID is, and it can, and same access point can have it over the LAN. Yeah, means that same access point can have same SSID, and as you can see down there, SSID is the name of the network. Like you can see the router code like Serge router canal box, that's the name SSID. So, and it's different from ESSID because different access point can have the same ESSID. And other thing we have here, it's called, we have down here we have another thing called channels. Wi-Fi can operate around 1 to 14 channels, and in United States our Wi-Fi adapters operate on 1 and 11. I live in USA, guys. So power of course is the power of the Wi-Fi adapter, or the Wi-Fi access point of the router. You know that it operates on frequencies like 2 gigahertz, 5 gigahertz. So, and here we have the type of the security. We have this word equivalent privacy, which is web and also vulnerable. It's kind of weak. It uses weak ciphers, which called like Arrowhead kind of encryptions, which are weak. And another thing for you guys I want to understand is mods. Mods is like our device, our network adapter or wireless adapter can operate into like 3 modes. Let's first see. You can see my wireless adapter have WLAN 0, which is in managed. Yeah, you can see that we have our SSID, which is canal box, and BSSID, which is the MAC address there. And also we have the mode, which is in the managed mode. So, and another thing we have is its access point works on 2 gigahertz, means that it can reach to the long range, but with the small power. And we have what you call the 5 gigahertz, which works on short range, but it have the strong power. Yeah, so those are about gigahertz we talked about it. So Another thing we have, those are the basic commands like ifconfig. You can run ifconfig if you want to understand how your network is, like how it's arranged, the adapter you have, what's your IPs, what's up and down on your network. So another thing we have is this iwconfig. I think we ran it back, so when we are trying to see the adapters we have. So I want us to go to the interfaces. So we are going to use a tool called Aircrack-ng. Is the one which is going to help us to be able to crack wireless networks. Let me admit this person. Okay, we are going to use this Aircrack-ng tool. Okay, hi Telmark and see you. Welcome for joining my session, and Valentine. Okay, so those people's, I can see. Okay, let's continue. We are going to use Aircrack-ng. For people who are using Kali Linux, it's preloaded. It comes with the operating system, but if you are using Ubuntu, you are going to install it and configure it. And here you can see we have other several tools for wireless pen testing. So you can see we have Wi-Fi, Aircrack, and other thing we have here. It's called it's called FEN, which uses like graphical user interface. It's good. It have good graphical interface, easy to navigate. So you can see you can use FEN, but if you are a beginner jumping to FEN without understanding how things work, you're not going to get it. You are going to get confused. So here we have this Aircrack-ng tool. You can go to their website. This one is going to help us to crack those handshake we captured of the Wi-Fi networks. So we are going to talk what is the handshake, and other concepts we need. Don't worry, we are going to see them. And also let me just fast because I want to attack my own Wi-Fi. I don't want to make any cyber crime live. So, and I'm ethical hacker, right? So let me forget my own Wi-Fi so that we are going to hack it back. So if we see that we can get its key by hacking, it's kind of like we're trying to demonstrate how we can perform this kind of attack, and this is for educational purposes, and I'm not encouraging anyone to do other stuff. Let me put nonsense there, and to verify if I forgot. Okay, they replied me another nonsense. Okay, you can see that my Wi-Fi is already forgotten, means that I will need password to get connected to it. So one thing I'm going to do here is that let me first clear my screen. So I'm going to just first analyze my adapter. It's in managed mode. Okay, let's try to put it into let me start WLAN 0 to put it into like monitor mode, so that we'll be able to capture all packets of the Wi-Fi around us, so that we'll be able to capture that handshake. So you can see that my wireless adapter changed to WLAN 0 mode, which is in monitor mode. So another thing I'm going to do, we are going to another step. We are going to scan for all access points around the area. So I'm going to use Aircrack-ng. I'm going to dump all on my interface WLAN 0 mon. Okay, I hit enter, so you can see that now it started to scan my parameter to see what are wireless access point around me. You can see it even if discovered clients disconnected to the Wi-Fi you are going to attack, which is canal box. That Wi-Fi selected, yeah, is the one you are going to focus on. Now you can quit it because you get the information. Another thing we are going to do is that we are going to target one specific access point, and we specify the file, the output file where we are going to save our four-way handshake. Yeah, the file where we're going to capture the four-way handshake. For people who are not understanding what is four-way handshake, it's that process of access point is authenticating the client and client is sharing the keys. Yeah, those kind of processes and steps happening there. We're going to sniff on it so that we capture it and we save it into the file, and that file is one we are going to use to crack the password, because the password is inside that file in hashes and we are going to crack it. So one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to specify aircrack-ng and then C. That C is for the channel. You can see my canal box is running on that channel, and I specify the BSSID of that one. You can see it's the MAC address, and the W is going to specify the output file. Let me call it just Valentine. So let me call it Valentine. But before I run that file, because one thing we need is that to kick out the client, so that they are going to need to connect back to the access point, so that we'll be able to capture all of those processes which are going to lead us to the capturing four-way handshake. Yeah, so we are going to run the authentication. We are going to authenticate clients. So that's our WPA four-way handshake, which we are trying to capture. So, and we are going to use this Airplay-ng DOF, and we specify that 100 means that I'm going to send like 100 the authentication packets, and I specify the MAC address and the adapter I'll be using the authenticating the client. So means that I have to open another tab. Let me try to open another tab. Let me just open a new window. I think I have to open the new window, right? Let me put it side by side so that I can run it with, I can run the authentication with capturing the handshake. So one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to type Airplay-ng at Airplay-ng, and then Airplay-ng and the off for the authentication. And I'm not going to say 100, I want to make it like infinite. So to make it infinite, I have to put 0. Means that the authentication can run even if tomorrow until I turn off my PC. So let me put, I have to put 0 there for infinite the authentication. So and remember guys, let me put 0 there, and I specify the target the access point you want to authenticate. So I paste it there. So after I paste it, I specify the adapter I'm using, which is the in monitor mode. So WLAN 0 mode is the one which I'm using, if I remember it well. So I have to come back to this terminal, I execute that, and I'm going to also execute this one to the authenticate clients. So here I sent it, so means that I have to wait some minutes for the authenticating client, so that the moment they are going to get we're going to be using Wi-Fi, because that the authentication process is kind of taking much time, because we are not seeing in real time that those clients are still there. That's why we are going to use Wi-Fi, which is kind of easy and it have good interface to interact with. So let me use Wi-Fi. So you can see first it checks if I'm in monitor mode. It checks, you can see that I have clients connected to our target access point. Okay, I'm not going to capture PMK ID. That's another topic we're going to talk about it when we'll be using hashcat. So let me continue to capture handshake. You can see that is the authenticating those clients who are connected to my access point. So means that I have to wait some minutes for it to do its magic to capture that handshake. So let's give it some time. You can see that it captured the handshake, and after capturing handshake, it automatically used its own word list to crack the password. Let me give him some time. You can see that he's trying to crack the handshake. We already captured the handshake. So let me see if he's going to crack it. Okay. So you can see that it lost the password, but this is the case if you are the hacker and you haven't even if done any kind of reconnaissance and information gathering to know some information about your target network. You're going to suffer. Here let me use the word list generator application online. For example, according to the information I have to the target network. For example, I know this is the access point for person called Serge Beni. I can go deep, search some information using open source intelligence. We call it OSINT in cybersecurity, to give me some information about Serge. I can find it on social media. I can find it everywhere. Your information are there. We like to share it. So, and I'll be using this word list generator. It's for free. It's online. You can try it. Let's get started. So, and in Linux we have other tools to generate password, but I like this one. Is so quick and it uses AI to generate those word lists, to generate good ones. You can see there we have some fields where you can put those information like the first name, the last name. Let me put Serge, and the last name I put Beni. Maybe I don't have the middle name, that password. And here says you put, just you fill all information you managed to get to the person. You can see you can put like date of birth. Just born today. Let me just put that. So, and anniversaries, and another thing is you can see we have the industry, you can see we have the anniversaries, You can put many and many as you want. Anniversaries, you can see there. Maybe you can put the year you graduated, the person graduated you are tagging, like the birth of date. Maybe if it's an organization, when they have opened, the current year you are in. You just use your mind when you are creating the word list. So, and here you can specify some keywords. Of course, some keywords will have search. So, and you can put any keywords. Let's try to put 2025 because it's the year we are in. So another thing is that let's put some characters and symbols there. Yeah, just you put anything you want in keyword. Let's hit generate, so you can see that we are able to generate all possible passwords we can use, cracking the handshake we captured from that canal box access point. Let me open it with mouse pad. You can see let me minimize. You can see that those are all possible passwords. You can see that there are many and so many. So and you can see that we have, let me scroll down. You can see that we managed to generate around 77,000 passwords. They are a lot. You cannot lose the one inside those all of those passwords there. So another thing I'm going to do, let me copy it, let me move it to home. But before I move it to home, let me first rename it for to make it easy to identify it. So let me rename it before I move it. Let me call it like Search PS, right? Okay, let me rename it, and then I move it to home. So I think it's there. So you can see that we captured our handshake and it's saved in HS directory. Let me copy it. I'm going to copy that handshake directory, and then I use Aircrack-ng to crack that handshake. So, and let me clear. So let me type sudo Aircrack-ng. So I will delete that. So after I delete, I paste the path of our handshake we want to crack, and also have to specify the MAC address of the target access point. So, and here as you can see, let me try to run back again Aircrack-ng for me to be able to get the MAC address. So let me run it back. I type sudo airmon-ng, airmon airdrop-ng wlan 0mon. So I put my password. I think now we go to what you want. Let me quit. Let me grab that MAC address there, and then I paste there. So, and then another thing, you can see there we have the option W, which means that I have to specify the word list I'm going to use. You can use any word list according to what you have generated. Let me see the one you have generated, if it's here. Let me go to files. Is it available in home? It's in home. So let me search it. Yeah, it's home. It's available on home. So let me try to copy the path. Let me open its properties, and instead of copying the path, I think because it's on home, I can copy the name only. Let me copy the name, and after copying the name, I paste it there. So now we have crafted our Aircrack-ng command to crack that 4-way handshake we managed to capture. So one thing I'm going to do is just pressing enter to execute this. So let me check. Yes, let me put enter. You can see that Aircrack-ng started to crack that handshake. Means that it's going through all of that word list we generated, trying to see the matching password. Yeah, it's going through it and finding the matching password. It's finding all possible, any possible password. Yeah, you can see that it found the current paraphrase is found. Yeah, we found the key. Yeah, which means that it searched to 2025. So let's do quick check. Let's see if this the real password, but you can see that Aircrack managed to crack it. So let me copy it. My wireless adapter is still in monitor mode. Let me bring it back. Let me stop it, bring it back to the normal managed. So WLAN 0, I have to stop this. I think now we are ready to go to connect to the Wi-Fi. Okay, let me first try to see if our password is correct. So let me paste it there and then I hit connect. So does it work? I think that's the real password. We managed to capture it. So let me get back there. So you can see that we are connected. So that's how easily to crack Wi-Fi passwords. So simple as that. And I encourage you people, for people who want to go deep into cybersecurity from beginner to hero, doors are open. You can inbox me if you want to join my cybersecurity community, and I have class where I teach all kind of people from beginner to advanced level. You most welcome.